The site we have chosen lies in the Versova Kolivada precinct. Versova Kolivada, situated along the Malad Creek, is a lively village with 50,000 inhabitants that is now classified as slum by the government. Versova Kolivada is one of about 38 Kolivadas in the city. Coming to site connectivity. The site is 10 minutes away from Versova metro station, 15 minutes from Western Express Highway, and 2 minutes away from Versova jetty. People visit by boat to Versova and away from here to Mud, Minori. The proposed road passes through the site connecting the Mud and Versova jetty. Site lies under the CRZ zone, thus there's development restrictions. There's also churches and masjid around the site due to presence of mixed community. Development Plan 2034 indicates a coastal road proposal connecting the Versova jetty to the Mud jetty. This road passes right from the center of our chosen Site 1, while the same road continuing towards Site 2. Thus also a road widening project for the Dongri Road to 13.4 meters wide road. The coastal road passes through the heart of the fishing community, and any change in this will affect the community. Many of the fishing related activities span across this road and is a daily commute for many people. Site 1 and Site 2 are reserved for fish and net drying area under DP plan. Two major infrastructure developments coming up which would impact our site. First, the Coastal Sea Road project, which will pass through Mud Island, is part of the Nariman Point to Kandivali project. Second, Mud Versova Bridge, which would connect Mud Island to the Versova Island, making it less time consuming. Building uses. Near Versova Kolivada, 76% of residents are spread around, while mixed-used buildings are near roads edges, and few industrial buildings are near the seashore. Road hierarchy. Primary road which is passing through the site is around 7 meters wide, which varies at many places, while some place it becomes so narrow that only one car can pass at a time. Building height here are not much tall and is limited to around 4 to 5 story buildings, due to the presence of CRZ zone. Amenities like retail shop are most here in Kolivada, as we see around school, churches and masjid are also near to the site, which shows mixed community in this place. Also near our site, street lights are less, which makes the place dull at night. Building typology. Most of slums are near the sea and few slums towards the west side near to our site, while building and apartment are equally spread in Kolivada. Communities around the site has a mixed community. The dominant community is Koli, and all the other communities are part of the fishing industry based on skills. The rear side of the Kolivada is filled with migrants. The Kolivada core is majority of Kolas, while adjacent to it lies the Christian and the Muslims towards the eastern edge. Coming to the site context. The Versova Kolivada Gauvton lies to the west of the site. Northwest side lies the Versova jetty. The boat decking areas lines the jetty area. Area is surrounded by mangroves plantations to the northeast. Yellow demarcated areas are the sites chosen. The site we have chosen are located at the rear edge of the Kolivada. House of Charity is a disabled school which lies to the north of the site. Our Lady of Health Church lies next to it, which has its existence from the Portuguese colonizing era. The Ganesh temple is situated right in the center of Site 2. There is a Koli Jamaat office as well. Also, there is a newly built community center alongside the church in the site. Site 1 has an area of around 6,730 square meters. The proposed coastal road, 18.3 meters wide, will pass through the site. Whereas Site 2 has an area of 6,240 square meters. Site 1 is currently utilized by the Koli people for fish drying, while in monsoon the same space is used as a playground. There's an existing well in front of the building settlement where there's gatherings of people and used as a community space. Thus also informal parking on the site off season.
रुक जा चर्च का लिया
Site 2 is currently utilized as a community space as there's existence of Ganesh Mandir at the center of the site. The festival ground is active only for a month annually during the fish festival, which has been a tradition for the community since then. Coming to Site 2, Seafood Festival Ground. Every January people held a versova fishing festival. Various varieties of fishes and crabs are prepared in the traditional Koli way and sold at about 60 to 80 stalls. People flock from all over Mumbai to be a part of this festival. Around 25,000 people visit this festival every year. Our conceptual idea for the chosen sites are extending the street and provide continuous public loop, thus would creating a linkage between both the sites. For Site 1 we would be designing pedestrian plaza along both sides of the road with safe space for walking, resting and thus providing a buffer between existing slums and the road. This will eventually help reduce ambient noise. For Site 2 we will be designing a mixed-use module for a community space which could be utilized as night schools, community kitchen, tuitions, training with public toilets facilities. Designing multipurpose commodity stalls mainly for selling products, which could be used for food stalls, exhibition stalls as and when required, also could be used during annual festivals. Amphitheater which could be used for public workshops, local knowledge zones and community gatherings. Our idea of selecting this project is an infill development. Site 1, due to a lot of constraints, hasn't been developed for a long time and now we have been finding a potential of it due to the proposed coastal road development. After the coastal road future development project, the current site will drastically attract tourists to the site, thus the site would become a gateway, a landmark for the people traveling from mud to jetty, thus becoming a good connectivity. The character of the Kolivadas is defined by the community spaces which are knit carefully over generations into the village fabric. Thus, Site 2 which is now been underutilized would then become an integral part of the culture of Koli community. Sites we have chosen has a great potential in bringing in economy to the place, now as well as after the development of coastal road. Thus Site 1 and Site 2 linkage to the Versova jetty would empower local business and strengthen both within and outside the Koli community.